Hello, Xylophoney here with ARK's top 5 most useless dinosaurs. Now before we begin, I'm just going to say this is a little bit of a touchy subject, so bear with me. I know some of your favorites might be on this list, that's why I knocked it down to a top 5, just because I didn't have the heart to do a top 10 of dinosaurs that weren't very useful, and because ARK tries to make all of its creatures useful to some extent at least, so even some of the things on this list have some use to them. But without further ado, we're going to get right into the list. At number 5, we have the Phiomia. That's right, Phiomia is not quite at the bottom of this list. He's useful for some things. The dossier suggests it makes a good pack mule. I kinda disagree. It's one of the worst pack mules due to its speed and not being able to carry as much as some of the other dinosaurs. It also is suggested that people can use this to create large amounts of poop, when realistically poop is not one of the very difficult resources to come by in ARK, so that's also something that doesn't make use. But the reason it is useful is because it can be killed and harvested for large quantities of meat. Killing a Phiomia can get you like 20 meat, and that's like even in the early game, so I think it does have some use when it comes to that. But even the dossier suggests that it's not that great of a tame, and it's just good as a, livestock just to farm and get meat off of, which realistically is how most of us use it in the game. Anyway, that moves us to number 4. The Koala. So, we just have the fish. No, the fish isn't tameable. This is going to be the only non-tameable creature on the list. Just because I didn't want to, fill it up with the annoying bugs, because they're going to get a little bit of a top 5 of their own. But this is kind of useless just because its only use is meat. Now, although it's easy meat to get in an early game, it's not that good when you have things like Phiomias running face first into rocks. That is obviously a much better meat source. If you have any sort of dinosaur that can do any kind of hunting, there's a million better options. They're just literally there in the water to make it look decent and, have an option of, fishing and getting meat that way. Number 3, we have the turtle, the Carbonemus. Now I know a few of you are very fond of this guy, so I'm going to say this as respectfully as possible. I think he's pretty bad. Just because on land, he's very, very slow. He can't really do a ton of damage. He's not really good at protecting anything besides himself. And just being so tanky makes him kind of useless to harvest in the wild, because you don't even bother going for him. Even though he has a good source of keratin and a little bit of meat, it's not really worth, chipping away at a turtle to gain. Now, the reason they're not even lower is because, yes, they can move around in the water. They're an easy tame and probably the easiest tame to move around from land to sea very quickly. Well, quickly is not the right word there, is it? Anyway, moving on to number 2. Oh, this one hurts me. But the Parasaur. Oh, man. Sorry, Perry. But the Parasaur is completely eclipsed by the many other creatures in the game now. Although it is an easy traveling tame, and it is the first traveling tame that's within any sort of reason whatsoever, it is still slower than just about anything else you can tame for travel purposes. In most cases, by the time you're ready to tame a Parasaur, you should be just about ready to tame a raptor, which is better in every way possible. That moves us to number 1. Now, it pains me to say this, but number 1 is the Doe Tigress. Yes, the Doe Tigress. You thought I was gonna say something else, didn't you? I won't. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna say it. Scream at me in the comments if you want. That's fine. Nah, I'm just kidding. Number 1 is the Dometrodon. You thought I was gonna slip there, didn't you? Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time.